Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. Kasper Rasmussen, you're the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships at AirHelp.
Yes.
So, thank you very much for joining us here in the PhocusWire studio. It says here it's machine learning. AirHelp, bots in charge of handling claims.
Yeah.
Claims is a funny old thing, isn't it? So how do you do it that's going to be different from the other people that do it?
Yeah, so basically customers come to AirHelp and have since we were founded back in 2013 to help avoid the hassle themselves of claiming compensation from airlines when they've been on a flight that was either cancelled, delayed, overbooked, etc. And on our side, a claim is basically whenever a customer is filed on our homepage for compensation, we help them claim towards the airline. And we've experienced that so many customers are pursuing compensation that we have decided to go in the direction of also getting some of the repetitive tasks that our human claim agents get to be processed by bots.
Okay, we'll come back to the bots bit because
sure.
that's the new thing that you're doing.
Sure,
but
of course.
what kind of kickback do you get from airlines generally for what you do?
Yeah, so of course at the end of the day, they would probably prefer our non-existence because they have had all the opportunity they like to pay out the compensation if they had the willingness to do so. And therefore, AirHelp, when customers come to us for assistance, they get an objective supporter on their claim. But at the same time, we also assess whether claims truly are eligible before we send them to the airlines, because we don't want to waste the airlines' time. We pursue a concept that we call justice as a service, and that goes for all parties involved, both the customers but also the airlines. Okay. So everybody deserves justice, and if you truly are eligible for compensation, we determine that the airline should pay, and then we also hope the customer claim the compensation if the airline shows reluctance towards paying.
Are there any kind of regional or carrier types around the efficiency of getting compensation back, or is it just carrier by carrier? Some are really friendly, some are not, or is it full service carriers are a bit more friendly than low cost carriers or European?
That's the rule of thumb. I mean, you get what you pay for, right? So if the carriers that typically are low cost carriers, not always will they be as willing to pay out as the full service carriers. But at the end of the day, customers are equally entitled to compensation regardless what they paid for their original ticket. Yeah,
I mean, there are directives in place, especially in Europe and stuff like that, that it's to ease this process of compensation.
Yeah, and you could say that, so the law has existed in Europe back since 2004, and last week there was actually an analysis by the European Court of Auditors to find out how well the law is being followed today, and the article concluded that 85% of air passengers are not sufficiently informed about their right to compensation. So definitely there is a lacking information towards customers. And that's where we come in to help the customers that are entitled to compensation.
And now you're getting into the bot game, as it were. Bots and automation, they work to a certain level, but when does the human factor come back into it again? How have you determined the barriers between the two? Yeah,
that's a great question. So you could say that what we started with was 100% manual. We didn't have any bots. We didn't have any financing to go out and build expensive artificial intelligence, machine learning bots. So it was 100% manual for the first 3 years of AirHelp's existence. And then we slowly started identifying some relatively repetitive tasks that bots could take care of. But most of the time, it's actually human agents that are facing the customers. Because the reason why you decide to become a customer service agent is because you're so passionate about helping passengers or helping customers. So therefore, the human agents are today, and also since back when we started, very focused on the customer-facing side of it. We currently support 16 languages, so therefore customers speak their own languages when they're talking with our claim agents, and then the bots, they take care of the repetitive tasks. For example, determine, do we have the correct documents necessary to pursue compensation? Is it truly the right customer signing the necessary forms, etc.? So the bots take all of the tasks, soon they will, that manual agents would just be a waste of their time. So that's what the bots are helping with.
So what are the manual agents thinking about this?
They love it. We had last year we had a...
What are they going to do instead? Once the bots take over, what are the manual?
They're going to keep focusing on learning new things, because you can never 100% automate the full process.
No.
And because we're able to scale up significantly with the help of bots, it also means that the customers that come to AirHelp, we're able to give them the best service possible, because the human agents are focused on what their specialties are. They're not spending a lot of time on these, very, let's call it boring, repetitive tasks. They want to avoid those typically.
Yeah.
So therefore, the human agents are going to be doing that. And at the same time, once we're able to identify new repetitive tasks being carried out, that's when bots take over that. So it's a little bit, you could say it's a little bit a process where the bots are constantly being developed based on where we're seeing repetition happen. And this is warmly welcomed by our human agents, because they would love to hand over these tasks to bots.
Okay. All hail the bots. Excellent. Brilliant.
Yeah, we had it at one of our team meetings. One of our agents, his name is Joseph, he was asking, what are we doing about the capacity? Our agents were working nights and weekends to keep up with all of these tasks. Well, what we're doing about it is developing artificial intelligence machine learning bots. And what we're doing now and what we're seeing now is the human agents are very creative, which the bots are not. So they have to learn stuff. The bots
there are
from the
limitations.
agents. Oh
Right,
yeah,
brilliant.
absolutely.
Kasper Rasmussen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.